So I got back to Fairbanks last night and my body went in shock when I got off the airplane, and it was 42 degrees. So it's just gonna take a couple of days for the body to adjust from 80 degrees to 42 degrees. Now I'm gonna run to Safeway, get some food, and tomorrow I get on the Dome train going to Denali. I'm ready to go on the Dome train. That's my train. So I'll just go step by step through a few things. Not that I was planning on buying anything, but the gift shop here is extremely expensive. $66 for a sweatshirt, $15 for a keychain. Just some examples. The other thing is you can board about 30 minutes before the train leaves, and everybody runs out the door like they're gonna miss the train if they don't get out immediately. And there's a billion people trying to get on the plane. I just came out here and said I'll let everybody crowd each other like they're going to some rock concert, and I'll be the last one who gets on the train. So my recommendation would be buy your sweatshirts before you come to the Alaska Railroad and your other souvenirs. Now I'm only taking the train ride for 4 hours. I think the entire ride is 12 hours, but I'm just looking to get home, and I will be home in about 4 hours and 20 minutes. Or I'll miss the train and I'll never get home. And believe it or not, because the train is so large, there's not that many people in each section. So that's really nice. So now that everybody went to lunch, what I would recommend also is if you can reserve a seat. Reserve seat 1. I don't know if you can reserve seats on this train. I would imagine you can. And the breakfast is pretty big. They started 5 minutes after you leave. But I just wanted to get a little bit of a shot if you happen to get seat 1. And as you see the ceilings, you can see through, so that's pretty neat.
As we move around the yard, you can see that we use a variety of cars to ship freight all across the state. We have tanker cars that carry many different types of fuel from Flint Hills Refinery in North Pole. Although, wherever we go throughout the state, from Fairbanks to Seward. We have the hopper cars that carry commercial aggregates such as gravel or sand. We have...
And it's kind of like if you don't go to breakfast with everyone else, you have the train all to yourself. I just went down and grabbed some sausages, swallowed them quickly, and came back up. So after about 10 minutes, you start coming to the trees and forest. And I don't know how long everybody stays at breakfast. I'll let you know later in the video.
Coming up here on the right-hand side, we have the University of Alaska Fairbanks, which is, in my opinion, the crowning jewel of Fairbanks. That first building there on the right is the Museum of the North, the #1 museum in Alaska. It has a full-size mammoth that they pull a glacier. The next building is the Geophysical Institute. They study everything from the center of the Earth to the center of the Sun. Their specialty is the Aurora Borealis, and they have an incredible website that tracks it and tells you where it's going to be and at what intensity. And we're currently coming through their agricultural research station. It's on either side of the train. This is where they study the impact of extreme weather and extreme sunlight on plants and animals. And it does have an effect. Our vegetables can be a 2,000-pound pumpkin or a 150-pound cabbage. This is not at all uncommon, and primarily due to the 22-plus hours of sunlight that we get up here.
And there is a section you can actually go outside on, and I'll go there in a minute before the crowds come back. And the price of the train ride isn't that bad. If you choose the lower wagons, like that yellow one, doesn't have the glass ceilings, and it's one level, that's $99. And the one like this one with the glass ceilings is $199. Now, I'd pay 5 times that amount if nobody ever comes back upstairs. And here's where you can sit outside. They told me hold on to your phone because a lot of people drop their phones over the edge, and I laughed. But once you're out there, you see why that happens. The wind is blowing really strong in that area, and you can lose your phone. Hold on to it. There's water, no moose. Breakfast is lasting long. It's been about 30 minutes.
So throughout the day, we're going to be keeping our eyes out for wildlife. We have an excellent system for viewing wildlife here on the railroad. Our engineers will radio back to me when they see something there at the front of the train, and I will let you know what we're seeing and where. We use the clock system, with 12 being at the front of the train, 3 being directly out to the right, 6 at the rear of the train, and 9 directly out to our left. If you're wanting to get photos from inside the train, you'll want to put your phone directly up against the glass. Turn off any flash that you might have. This will reduce the reflection or glare that you might get. If you're a little more of a photog, I would suggest that you put your jacket or a blanket over your head when taking the photo. It will reduce the light inside the car and make that a much better photo.
Well, they said if you're taking pictures, put your phone against the window. I'm taking a video. Let's see if that actually improves anything. Oh wow, it does. Or maybe it doesn't. You make the decision. That's also neat how they let you know if they see any wildlife. Now, I'm not really expecting it. They did say before you get on the train, you're going to have a good chance to see a lot of moose, but I've heard that before. You're not going to fool me 4 times. Breakfast has lasted now for just about 1 hour. Those people have to be eating a lot of sausages. It is good that they let you move around quite a bit, and it looks like they do it wagon by wagon. That might not be true though, but that's what it looks like, because I can see the wagon behind us. Those people are still upstairs. So in the first hour, the only wildlife I've seen is myself. And definitely if you're more into socializing with strangers and all of that, the breakfast will definitely be fun. I just think this was a really good decision of me to stay upstairs alone and not hang around breakfast, because I don't like people. No, it's neat. I think I also got lucky to be in wagon A, because I imagine if you're in one of the wagons behind, especially in B, you won't have this kind of view. I imagine in the front where that yellow wagon is, you're going to have another tall wagon and it's going to block your view a little bit. I don't know if that's true, but that's what I imagine would happen. So I got kind of lucky getting wagon A. So breakfast lasts for about 1 hour. And now people are starting to return.
So during the train, we have many different types of doors. We have push pull, we have sliding, and we have automatic doors. The automatic doors Now, if you've been looking off on the left-hand side, you've probably seen our telegraph poles. Now, the telegraph poles were put in the early 1900s. They connected Alaska down to Washington. There was 2,000 miles of these poles put in. They were the emergency backup communication system for our conductors. They would have a long pole with a hook on the end and a wire attached. They would hook that hook over the line, run the wire through their telegraph wins the pot. Last year it was $112,000 shared with 11 winners. In 1982, my grandmother won with 10 other people. She got $1,000, which she put down on her Oldsmobile Cutlass Classic. Up here on the left, we have one of 3 original depots that will be passing. It is not currently used as a depot, though we do pick up passengers here about once a month. It's currently housed with a gift shop and 3 Airbnb rooms upstairs. And in just a few minutes or moments,
we're approaching
we'll be
Nana.
passing under
I've been here several times, if you guys remember.
Honor Bridge. This is to commemorate the Native Alaskans that fought in the Second World War. And as we turn to the left, we'll be able to see that confluence of the Nana and Tanana River.
Now we're passing by my dentist. Somewhere behind those trees.
If we see a bird, you might see an osprey bird. I think there's a big nest on one of these old telephones. Forget if this is where, if it's over here somewhere else, I'm not sure.
If you're looking up on the right-hand side, you can see two tank cars that have been dropped
down
over
there, kind
there.
of hold their mouth
This
shut a little bit.
is for, well, they did it on purpose. They put it So if you're looking up on the left-hand side, you can see there where there's been a bit of a rock fall coming down that hillside over there. As it comes down that hillside, it makes sort of a fan shape. This is called an alluvial fan. And what creates this is the schist rock that's there at the top of the hill. And so quite literally, this is where the schist hits the fan.
No, I just.
Just wanted to get pictures.
Yeah. I should try to take some
There's a,
pictures.
that's a Roxas. Oh. And there was a really, yeah, there was a really pretty one.
So we're coming into Healy Canyon, and for the next 15 miles or so, we'll be running about 25 miles an hour, parallel to the Nenana River here. The Nenana River is glacially fed, which explains the color, as it has glacial silt suspended in it. It makes for that murky gray color. If you're looking up on the hillside there, you can see a perfect example of glacial terracing. It looks like a natural man-made landform, but this was made by the recession of a glacier. So this section is arguably the most scenic of our ride today. And if you're looking to get a photo of the engines, we'll be taking quite a few curves throughout this canyon. It's the perfect opportunity to do so. Again, I will suggest that you put your camera as close to the glass as possible. Shut off your flash to reduce the glare or reflection that you might have in that photo. If you're a little more of an advanced photog, I will suggest that you put your jacket or blanket over your head to block the light within the coach. Through quite common to see whitewater raptors around the river, especially on beautiful days like this.
Oh, waterfall.
These rapids are classified as class 5, not necessarily because of the intensity of the
Oh, right there.
themselves, but because of the intensity and the cold of the water. 34 degrees even water days in summer. And so these whitewater raptors utilize suits that are tested every single morning before they use their in this section, you're the most likely to see the doll sheep. Again, you'll want to look up at the higher elevations and watch out for a really lovely ivory color up against that rock face. It's very rare to see one. They usually in groups of 4 or more.
So what is a dolphin? A sheep. So what?
August is the most common month. Other than May. Again, if you see these before you do, make sure that you call it out so that everybody else gets that opportunity.
Yes, the glacier fed. It's not like the glaciers. It's pretty.
Here's the dining area. So actually, you could sit down here when everybody comes back upstairs if you don't want to be near anybody. The prices, I don't think they have the prices on the menu. For the dome wagon, the food is free and beverages are free. If you take the $99 train or wagon, You have to pay for your food. The only thing I would say, if you have bad legs, these are great steps to fall down and break both ankles. Especially with the bouncing train. You have to hold on or you're going to be like a disco ball bouncing down the steps. Okay, now I'm deaf. Now I'm even more than deaf. So just got in, waiting for my truck to get here. Then I'm gonna hug it and maybe kick it once. I know it was damaged a little bit with the hailstorm, but just a few little dents, and that's what a truck needs. Then I'm gonna meet my friend who's sharing the land with me in about 1.5 hours at the restaurant, and she'll bring me to the house, and then I'll start to ramshack it like a rock band. And as I'm waiting for my friend to pick me up, I will also say about the train ride that you have probably 2 to 3 chances to see moose from Fairbanks to Denali, but you have to be looking at the right spot at the right time, and you won't see the moose for more than 3 seconds, because even though the train's traveling pretty slow, it still goes by fast. You know, the trees cover the moose after a couple of seconds. I actually saw one moose for about 3 seconds, and the other thing is they're about 100 yards, if not, 150 yards, 200 yards away from the train tracks. So don't expect to see much wildlife when you're taking the train. You may get lucky and a moose decides it's gonna sit on the side of the track. Highly unlikely, because I'm sure the noise pushes the moose back a little bit. Now, was the train ride worth $199? I would say, in all honesty, mostly you see trees in the 4-hour train ride. About 30 minutes of the ride, you also see the Nenana River, which I got some video of. I think the train ride was nice, comfortable, and relaxing. But I would say you take it more just to say, I took the Dome train. I would say it's something you don't have to do. Driving from Fairbanks to Denali is much more enjoyable. I am, though, going to take the train from Denali to maybe Anchorage, maybe Fairbanks in the winter time. There'll be less people and it'll be different scenery. Snow, ice, and frozen moose. So I would still take the train one time in the winter. Maybe this winter, it's going to depend. We will see. But also, if you're here for 10 days, take the 4-hour train ride just to take it. If you're here for 3 days, I wouldn't spend a day doing that. So I hope you enjoyed parts of the train ride from Fairbanks to Denali, and I'm gonna go now. See you in the next video.